Camera 1. Camera 2. And...
Where you at? You with those guys from Bourbon Street, where all names have changed to protect the guilty. I'm your host, Joey Alonzo. Disclaimer, there will be language, so get the kids out. Get them out now. You're going to hear stories that you swear there's no fucking way this is true. They are. And if you hear your name in a story that sounds vaguely familiar, hey, just a coincidence. My partners in crime are...
Peter Lucero. Why I still did that. And we're back with our guest, Brad Bohannan, guys.
Brad!
Welcome back, Brad.
What's up, baby?
All right,
Brad.
This thing. There you go. Right there. That's for you, Joey.
Yeah, she can have that back.
She can have it back.
All right.
So, we were talking...
Spirits.
I want to know the story. What do you want? What story?
When you were in that building, what was it called?
When I first opened it, we called it Turtle Bay.
Okay.
And we were open for about a month and a half, and my wife was doing one of the networks was doing a show on lawyers, and so they were interviewing it, and they got to the point where they were interviewing the family. So they got to the family, and they bring in these smoking hot girls from LA that are doing the interviews and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I'm in there with my wife, so you're in there with your wife. I'm gonna start cutting up with these girls, you know what I mean? And so I start cutting up with them, giving them the business, and she's giving me the stink eye, just having a good time. I'm just making up some stories, and she's like, Brad, stop. I go, dude, you gotta give them. This is TV. You gotta give them what they want. Sure. And so they got to the point where they're like, well, they wanted to use them for the TV show, but she does family law. And they couldn't get people to sign off on it, on their family stuff. Okay. So the same people that were casting for that were casting for Bar Rescue. And they go, hey, dude, will you do this? What about your husband? Will you do that?
That was going on at the same time?
Yeah, well, it was the same casting agency. So they're like, hey, we got this other show for your husband. Will you do this? And they liked the lawsuit I had with Tropical Isle. They thought that was a different kind of prospect. And if you looked at Bar Rescue the first 2 seasons, it was like almost in like strip malls, like little chicken shit spots.
Yep.
So there was like places where no one really could go visit. And so they thought it was like an opportunity to have like a movie set for them where people could go see it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I know. Well, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to fucking play this pretty bad. This ain't gonna turn out good for me. But right. I knew the power of cable TV because the way I got the hand grenade so popular is my friend worked for E. And so back in the 90s, remember they only had the show Wild on?
Right.
So my friend was the executive producer of Talk Soup.
Oh, okay.
And so he called, he just passed away. He did the Dirty Dogs movie with me, actually. And he just passed away right when we got done with that. And so he got us on Wild On. And back then they only had 10 channels. Right. And so then they played Wild On, got over and over. So we were getting millions of dollars. People don't realize that's how we got famous. Wow. Because of Wild On.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like millions of dollars. Every night it was on. And then at the same time, it was Girls Gone Wild. And so every cup you saw was with the cups on it. So it was just like, it was the best product placement a person could have in a bar. And so I said, well, they play this show over and over just like that. I go, this is a chance I can really make some money with it. And I had met John Taffer before because he owned the nightclub and bar convention. And so I went and saw him speak a few times and, had words with him. We didn't know each other like, we weren't like buddies or nothing, but I kind of knew what he was all about. And I liked him. I mean, he was just kind of like a quirky dude.
You're one of the few people that know.
Yeah. And, but let me tell you something. The dude is great. Just to this dude he has hooked me up with so much stuff.
Yeah, no.
I gave him what he wanted. He gave me what, and we have a relationship. He still calls me.
Nice.
That's 13 years ago. There's no other TV host that's going to call you and check on you and ask you, give you opportunities.
No.
He put me on a bunch of episodes, and he had no obligation. He had no financial. Yeah. He just kind of read wrong. You know what I mean? It's a lot of TV to it.
Well, it's the TV of it, for sure. For sure. But I know a lot of people back in the day were like, man, that dude, if he comes in this bar, and I was like, what you don't realize is he's really helping people.
That's what he's
doing. He really is helping people, and there is a lot of drama because it's TV, and that's what all you viewers want to see.
That's what it sells.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to get up on the table and pop my coochie for y'all or something. Yeah. I don't know.
But he was...
I dare you.
No.
But it's a TV show. But like I tell a lot of people, sometimes you got to play the jackass to eat the hay. And so you got
a good line.
Sure, that's it. Yeah.
That is 100% true.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know I had a lot of hay on this goddamn street.
True. I was on an episode of Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, and when they did Oceana.
Yeah.
That's a story for another day. But yeah,
yeah. You gotta play the part. For sure. But yeah, man.
And so it was an opportunity. I took it, and I mean, I'd only been open for like 2 months. I was like, how am I gonna? I'm gonna get millions of dollars of advertising. And so they film it, and they did the concept and made it Spirits. And they had the cha chair, and it was like everybody that came in there was like going, "This is fucking stupid." Like, you know what I mean? I got the typical Bourbon Street thing. This is stupid. So, but then they play the episode, and then it's the most brilliant thing you've ever seen in your life.
They all want to be your friend.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck changed? This is like,
dude, and that's one thing, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why so many people talk shit about Tropical, right? Like, you guys from the jump, the whole idea. What's that noise? Band break. All right. That you guys 100%. I remember because I ran entertainment for multiple venues here, and it was one of those things where I was constantly like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, we need marketing. We need marketing. Mm-hmm. We need marketing. And it got to a point where we were hiring bartenders to do marketing, and I'm like, and this is before social media blew up more like it is now, and I'm like, guys, you're not even paying attention to what's going on down the street. All you guys do is complain about how, we're going to get sued if we make that drink. As you should. Right. In my opinion, because it's not like you're going to make a Pat O'Brien's Hurricane. Right. Right? Everybody was making Hurricanes, but not a Pat O'Brien's Hurricane. Mm-hmm. They had their signature drink. You guys created a signature drink. In my opinion, it tastes like gasoline, but it was a signature drink that everybody knew, and you would come, and the cups were brilliant.
And that was me. That was the kind of the concept when I did that cup.
Brilliant.
The way I came up with the cup idea was, when I was in school in Missouri, every dorm room in Missouri had a Pat O'Brien glass in it.
Right.
And I was like, how in the hell, dude, they're paying to market for you.
Yeah.
And so we kind of came up with it, and I said, hey, let's do this to-go cup plastic thing. And one partner there was like, I was still actually a bartender. And I'd say, this is kind of what to come up. So we came up with it, and one of the owners loved it. And then one of the other thought it was the ridiculous idea. Yeah. And so we waited for her to go out of town. And
you are a smart man,
I can still remember the first mold cost $10,000. Yeah, and we're like, dude, this is going to be a lot. I'm like, just let me explain this to me. I can get, instead of $4 a drink, that's back in the '90s. Yeah, I can get $7.50. Yeah. And we'll have $1 in it, and they're advertising on the street. Yep. Just gotta let me stay out of the way. And I did a contest where if you were almost getting punished if you sold smalls. So I wanted to make that the regular, and the small was just something you had to work to get. Yeah, and that's kind of how we did it.
And then you guys, from what I remember, were, other than your Pat O'Brien's, you guys were the first people, from what I remember, that started doing actual signature drinks. Yeah. Right? Like, it wasn't just the hand grenade. You guys had the Shark Bite, which is really popular.
They stole that from Lulu's or something like that.
Right, but on the street.
Hey, don't steal their drink. Don't steal their drink. Don't steal their drink, but we'll steal yours.
We'll steal yours. All right, off the record, how many lawsuits did you have?
How many times did I get sued by them?
No, how many did y'all sue for trying to serve hand grenades?
Mostly just cease and desist letters.
Oh, that's
mostly cease and desist letters, and then I think some of them were propaganda lawsuits for advertising, maybe. You know what I mean? And there's been a couple. There was one company that was made a drink, and it was they had some pretty deep pockets, and they fought it for a little bit. It was just like, is it really worth it? I mean, it's right. But so how many did I have with it too?
Two? Okay. We just want to. So back to spirits. Come on. So yeah, spirits.
And so, it was dude. As soon as the show came out, it was the best thing ever. And this is no lie. From that show, it probably generated me over $1 million every year.
Nice.
And it wasn't just for 1 year. And then even they kept doing it, probably the least maybe 600 or 700. Even at Turtle Bay, because it was called Turtle Bay before, I still get make probably a couple $100,000 a year off it from that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so it kind of it's been, I have no regrets from that story. Taffer has been nothing. The whole production staff, I'm friends with them. I'm still friends with all of them. I've been on about 8 episodes with them. I got to come back and do some stuff with them, and
that's awesome.
Nice, yeah.
So it's been a very, very good working relationship. They've hooked me up with some sponsorships.
No, and it really
sponsorships.
Sponsorships. But yeah, it's I remember when it first opened up, and a lot of people on the street was like, I'm like, and then I was already working in film back then, and I kept pushing and pushing. I was like, guys, let's do a reality show. Let's hook up. And the only other person on the street, which I still give so much credit for being one of the first, I guess you could say, tech savvy, marketing savvy people on the street, is David Punch from Cat's Meow, because he's the one that set up the Bourbon camps, right? And I kept telling him, I was like, man, we got to do, we're not doing that. Well, we got to do this. We're not doing that. And I'm like, to a certain point where I was just like, all right, fine, you do what you're going to do. I'm just going to keep making my paycheck, and I'll get drunk and work on stage. There you go. Like, that was me. But yeah, like, what you guys did at that time, if I could remember the timeline properly, was the street was already losing, right? Because Katrina had already hit. And you guys, with doing that, helped us get back.
Yeah, we were like, actually, they got a picture of me on the Washington Post hanging up the tropical house sign. Was the first one back.
Wow.
And that was just a different time and place.
Yeah, it was.
I can remember cleaning out, this is a funny story, we were cleaning out the coolers, me and Steve, and we're like, we got some people from Johnny White's. They didn't have no money because they'd been here the whole time. Right. So we're like, hey, you want to clean these coolers out? I'll give you $200 a piece and help us clean it out. So you're going in there, everybody, throw it up, then throw it up, like they're just like puking everybody. So you start puking, they start puking. And so this van stops on Bourbon Street, and they go, did you have your tetanus shot? I'm like, no. And they go, sign this. They sign it, and they give you a shot right in the street, and then they left. And I'm like, after they left, I'm like, what the fuck did I just do?
Do you remember what year that was?
That was right at Katrina. That was during Katrina.
Yeah, they were testing the coronavirus.
They were testing the coronavirus.
But I'm sitting there going,
you're still alive, buddy.
But I'm like, you justify in your head, like, hey, well, shit, I fucking signed something. Me and Steve still talk about that, taking that fucking...
Wow.
Gosh, that is wild.
That is wild. But that's good that they're providing the service. Sure. At the same time, it's like, I would have been like, dude, don't come anywhere near.
There's a lot of stuff happens. I got a tetanus shot on Bourbon Street, and I met Prince Charles.
Wow. Wow. I've never had a tetanus shot on Bourbon Street. I've had a tetanus shot because I worked on Bourbon Street, but never because on Bourbon Street.
I got all kind of shots. All right. So, Brad, tell us your wildest story on Bourbon Street.
The wildest? I mean, I don't know if there's a wild. I mean, because I was pretty tame. You know what I mean? Like, because... Like I had a
man, you are. Yeah. Maybe you saw.
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. I mean, I remember the brawls that would happen. Like it was like in the 2000s, like almost every Friday and Saturday night, like the Chalmette kids, and it would like
Chalmette,
and they would be
Chalmette. And in this corner,
2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning, 700 block of Bourbon seemed to be the spot where everybody would go there to fight. You know, and then you're trying to break it up and getting the crap knocked out of you every once in a while.
It was it was from Jack's Brewery all the way up through to the gold mine. That whole area.
The old gold mine. Yeah,
it was
the whole area.
So when I first started DJing, when I went down to Utopia, I remember there was those weird Sundays I'd have to work, and I'd always get on the mic and be like, and then from this corner, all the way from Judge Perez, the All-Star team. No, and they'd start fighting, and I'd be like, I don't care. And I'm like, Code Blue, by the way, in this corner. You know? But yeah, those days were crazy, man. The brawls were real.
I can remember my first day working, and like, hey, I got to work behind the bar, and I was like, so I'm out there holding court, blah blah blah, telling stories, and so I go, there's a nice couple there talking, and then I go and they go to the bathroom. He opens the door and he shuts it, and I'm like, oh man, someone must have got sick there from last night and they didn't clean it up because they just ran out of there. So I go open that door and there's two guys just like plowing. He's getting plowed on the floor in the bathroom, and I'm over the door.
What kind of plow? Hold on.
Like the kind of plowing you're thinking.
Like beat up or getting sexually plowed?
He's getting sexually pounded. And he looks back. They're on the floor just like, and I'm like, dude, I'm like 20 some years old. I'm like, what? And I go, dude. And so I just shut the door. And so I'm like, I go back to the bar.
Oh my God.
So I go back to the bar and I'm like, oh shit. And so they're in there and I'm like, what do I do? And then they come out and just order a drink. I'm like, what do I do? I'll serve them a drink. I was like,
and that's what we do on Bourbon.
And I was like, and I should have gave him a tetanus shot after that.
You call the truck and see if they can come by.
Call them back.
Like they just can't set the bar. I'm like, I guess just serve them out. I just hope they wash their hands.
That is a Bourbon Street story. And here's what's magical about it. It was not further down the street. This was at your bar, which honestly isn't that far, but it's right there.
No, it's a block away.
So, in all fairness, and then this is a little history, that we are the oldest entertainment district with a gay community in the United States.
Did you Google that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Wonderful. I didn't know that.
That's the one thing that's great about New Orleans. It's so much. It's really like about 30 years ahead of the rest of the country on all that kind of stuff like that. It's like, which is kind of a nice thing to be around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 30 years ahead when it comes to
social
certain progressive things, but yeah, we're so far behind.
Like in plumbing and stuff, we're a little bit behind.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, literally. I wish. So we talked about a plumbing issue. We had a famous store, and I'm pretty sure every building here has a plumbing story. 100% has a plumbing story.
You just did the plumbing story.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying every.
Those pipe
I caught it a little late. Now, the Wawa's for me for catching it late.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're. Damn it, Joey.
I mean, this is kind of it's not a bad story, but it's kind of a crazy story. Mm-hmm. One day I was working. It was 2:30 in the morning. I let everybody go, and I'm just sitting there, kind of letting till like 3 o'clock to close, or 3 or 4 or whatever. And Nicolas Cage walks in, and so he's fucked up. And so I just started talking to him, and I got to and so I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? And this security guard, he's got one security guard. He's sitting there, and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about moving down here, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, that's great, blah blah. You got a realtor? And he goes, no. He goes, can you get me one? And I'm like, yeah, I can get you a realtor. Do you want me to call him tomorrow? He goes, no, I need him now. And so I was like, can you get him to me now? And I'm like, who am I? I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Lloyd Lynn?
Yes.
Drunk Lloyd? So it was 2:30 in the morning. So I go, the only realtor guy with a realtor license I know that's going to answer the phone at 2:30 in the morning is Lloyd. And so I call him. I'm like, Lloyd, I got Nicolas Cage in the bar. He wants a real estate agent now. And he wants a real estate. He goes, yeah, I'll do it. He goes, when? He wants it now. He goes, I'm so fucked up. And I go, he said he's fucked up. I don't care. And so I was like, oh, come on down. And I go, so he comes down. So this is at 3 o'clock. So I'm staying open late because I got Nicolas Cage and Drunk Lloyd doing a real estate transaction. And actually 2 weeks later, he bought that house on Esplanade from him.
Wow. Wow. And I mean, he owns so much property here now, too. But you know what?
He used to own the Laurie Mansion.
I want to ask you, what was he wearing that night? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Lloyd or
was it Nicolas Cage? Nicolas Cage. Because we already told the Nicolas Cage story. I'm wondering if it was the same night.
Could have been.
Because it was really, really late night. He came down to Famous Store. We told the story already about how his own security guard had to carry him out.
Oh.
So
I got to be pretty good friends with him, and he would come to see me. I did, like when he got married to Priscilla, he did his reception with us.
Oh, nice.
And then Lisa Marie was there, James, so I got to be pretty good friends with him. Where he would come in and call me before he'd come.
Yeah.
And I'd put a little spot for the balcony out for him. But he did his wedding reception up there when he got married. And that was kind of cool seeing Elvis's daughter and Lisa Marie was there and stuff like that.
Nice.
And one time I had his wallet for about 3 days. One time he left his wallet there, and he came back and got his wallet and stuff like that.
Bet you it was the same night.
But I mean, he was out here multiple.
Oh yeah,
times for
right.
sure.
I mean, he liked it. I mean, he
Yeah,
liked
he
the
liked it.
festivities of it. And
I mean, the Pop still has the place over on Governor Nichols too, so I know he's here quite often, and Nick has a room upstairs.
yeah, I mean, once he got married to the second, I didn't really see him at it anymore. Like once he got to the third, the last wife, I think she kind of reeled him in as much as she could.
Yeah, because I know he bought the LaLaurie mansion, and I know he had to sell it. Which
Yeah, that's the one he bought from Lloyd. That's the one on
the
Esplanade.
LaLaurie. No, LaLaurie's on Governor Nichols and Royal.
Yeah, this one was on
No,
Esplanade.
that's his. Pops has that now.
Who's got it?
Francis.
LaLaurie?
Francis has that house.
No way.
Yeah, I've actually housed people there for films. Yeah, he's got that house now. So yeah,
We should go.
yeah, we can totally go.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
Well, we don't want to go bother him while he's there.
I think that's a pretty good story. Selling a $3 million
yeah.
house at
That's
3 in the morning on Bourbon
That's
Street.
absolutely fantastic. That is a great.
Got me beat.
In my head, I'm like trying to, was it the same night? No, but look, and we talk about this quite frequently, and it's amazing how. That's one thing. One of the big allures about the street is that when celebrities come out here, we treat them like people. We don't treat them like celebrities, right? And,
Right.
and they appreciate that.
Sure.
Except for Jimmy Jones, because he was the Dallas, And when he walked down the street, people were cursing him out. I'm like, why would you walk
John
down Bourbon
Stamos.
Street? Well, come on now.
Come on.
Always.
I gotta wait for Pete.
We got
know.
Pete knows the story better than anyone.
Okay.
But wait, you were telling us on the break
He's got.
that you got a Saget story.
Oh yeah, so Bob
Saget.
Bob Saget came in and we were just talking and kind of got to be friendly and stuff like that. And so they had like a 2-lane sorority party upstairs.
Oh boy!
And so it was like nothing but like 2-lane like and so he goes and so I'm like, hey,
Like
he
2-lane girls.
goes, man, where can you get some? I go, there's a bunch of girls upstairs. You know what I mean? Like the room like Mary Kate. I don't know. They got some young girls up there. And so
Why'd you have to say Mary?
And so I get him up there, and he's up there. So the girls are giving him all kinds of attention, and the guys are getting mad. Blah, blah, blah. So he ends up leaving with one of the girls, and so comes back, and I didn't expect to ever see him again. So he comes back the next day, and he goes, you hooked me up with the only virgin in New Orleans. That's what he told me today. He was highly disappointed. He didn't get. She shut him down. So
He gets all of them.
Bob Saget gets all the buttons.
God rest his soul, buddy.
and then
I thought he was gonna come back and say, "You got another?"
and another time I was in there. This is kind of funny. So these 4 guys come in with suits, and they're like, people come and play reindeer games with you, and it's like this. And I'm like. They're like, hey, we're the Secret Service. We got someone coming in. We got to clear the area and make sure it's safe and blah, blah. I'm like going, okay. Just like, hey, the Secret Service is coming. Who wants to come here? I mean, there's a lot better places you can come if you need the Secret Service. I mean, this is right when Jenna Bush got busted in Texas.
Oh.
And so right there, so I knew she wasn't 21. I'm like, she comes rolling. I'm like, Jesus, gosh, man, what do I do on this? Do I let her in, or I'm like, fuck it, come on in.
You're probably safer in here anyway.
And I was like, this girl's getting punished enough. Let this girl have a little. Life is sucking already.
Yeah.
Having 4 Secret Services running around with your boyfriend.
Oh man, right?
So yeah, then she would. I got to be kind of friendly with her, and she'd call whenever she come in town until she got 21.
And then she don't need you no more. I don't need you no more.
I was out of business. I had no purpose in life.
Oh man, so being at Tropical Isle in Turtle Bay, and now I know you got at Spirits. Musicianship wise, who were the people you had playing there, and who were some of your favorite artists there?
Oh man, like that would just play. I enjoyed everybody. I just like watching like John Papa Grove come in there. He was like, he was probably my favorite of all time, just because he was so versatile.
So glad you said that.
He's just so versatile, and he's just a good dude.
Yeah.
And
he's a treasure, man.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be the next Dr. John to me.
I think so.
He's got that. He's at that kind of level.
Yeah.
And it's just funny to watch him develop into how he's come. He was probably my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, he's fun.
And a lot of those guys, like Big Al Carson's played there before he passed away.
Right, yeah.
Brian Lee played there for a little while. He passed away. So,
Brian.
And they were just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brian would get grumpy and cuss everybody out. Like,
you're not kidding. Brian was great. When he got nominated for a Grammy, he just flipped. He turned into just a mean.
Yeah.
And I didn't. But when he didn't win,
I'm famous. Fuck you.
He came back around, but there was a couple of months there where he was. With all due respect, Bethany, he was a dick. He was, and I loved the guy.
Yeah, he got a Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. Because we're going to be doing a documentary about the evolution of music on the street that Joey and I are going to put together.
And it's really a dying art here. Compared to what it was. I mean, it was like
it is, but I think that's one of the things that we're trying to like really emphasize here is a lot of people don't realize what the caliber of musicians we've had here, from people who don't know anybody like Glenn David Andrews. Like, who's that? Oh, we know. Like the Andrews family in general. Your John Papa Grows Funk. Like
Gary Brown was a great. He was like
Gary Brown.
He was great. He put a show on, dude.
They like playing here. They all travel. We talked about this before. They go on their spring tours and their winter tours of Europe. And they make more money. They'd rather stay here, play, and go home to their families.
And like I watched Dwayne Dupsy play
down here.
You'd watch Dwayne Dupsy play. How is he not a star?
I know.
Like, I mean, he checks every box on there. You know what I mean?
Because he's not his brother.
Yeah.
No, but that's a joke. I love you, bro. I love you, bro. I love you.
But I mean, he said it. But I mean, if you put them side by side, he can't hold smoke to. You know what I mean? Dwayne just can put on. I mean, that dude's gonna dehydrate out there. You know what I mean? Like add water soon because this guy's gonna go quick.
So many great musicians.
Yeah,
so many.
And the music it's changed over the years. It's not as essential as it used to be. I mean, when we first got here, it was kind of a music thing, and
you had to have live music at one point. You had to have live music.
The cost
you had to have the MCs intertwined with the bands. Now the band stops. They'll start playing music, and maybe an MC will be in the crowd.
Yeah.
Talking on the microphone, hey motherfuckers, let's make some noise. There's no entertainment.
Right.
There's no value, man.
No, you're right. And there's one big thing that I have to give such a huge shout out to her. You had your own in-house entertainment at Spirits that I don't think it mattered who was playing on stage. You had a barber chair, and there was only one queen on the street that could run that barber chair. Nikki Mano, we love you, baby.
She's a hot mess.
She is like Nikki worked all up and down the street, but man, when you put that barber chair in there and let her run it, I was like, yeah, you're not gonna.
I can tell you, I don't think Nikki kept a job more than 4 months anywhere possible. Anywhere. And I had her for about 10 years.
Anywhere. Anywhere. She's shots for me. Anywhere.
But you 100%, and that's what I'm saying. Like you always have that vision. Like you're like, hey, this works, and it's also something that's fun, and it's also something that people are gonna go, oh my god, as opposed to just walking in and out of all the bars where you have one shot, your gambit of shot girls, and you don't know who you're going to get next, and it's always a revolving door.
And actually,
and she
Nikki
became her own.
She put on a show. I see her whack a couple of guys. What do you mean? Shut up! Open your mouth.
Yeah, I think there's a TMZ video where it's got about 800 million views, and then I'll get the random text of it. Did you see this? No. 800 million people did, and I didn't see Nikki punching some girl out of. Yes. It was on Tosh. I mean, it's like, did you see it? No, I didn't see it. Where'd that come from? Thanks.
She was our hero, man.
Oh my gosh.
She was our hero. She's still our hero.
And actually, dude, she's the sweetest girl out there. She's a little misunderstood, but she is as sweet as it comes.
She is. She's such a hard worker, man. But yeah, like I said, you had that foresight, and you were like, no, this is not just a shot girl. She's an entertainer.
She's an entertainer.
You gotta work people like that with kid gloves too. You know what I mean? Because they have their own. their own little agendas, and you let them be the star. And
Well, I'm gonna call her out because recently she posted something and I responded to. She goes, "Man, why didn't y'all tell me I was so damn ghetto when I was young?"
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Honey, because we loved you. Like that's
right.
it. You're like we know, but you were still a badass." So.
when she got on the TMZ thing was going good, so it was going crazy. I go, dude, I was like addicted to that website, The Dirty.
Oh,
and like it had all the Bourbon Street stuff. I go, dude, if you could only make the dirty. She goes, hold the beer.
Oh shit!
She was like, so I've been on the beer. She was on it like a 3. I'm like, oh my god, Nikki. She's like, yeah, let me show you. This is me on this. I was like,
We want her on the show, Nikki. If you're listening, man, I know
she wants to come.
like a badge of honor. She was showing me her dirt.
Absolutely. Well, look, man, we love to have you on again. In the meantime, please tell us everywhere we can find you.
This was fun, man.
Tell us about your documentary coming out, and what else you're working on. Please tell us everything.
Well, we got a documentary, Dirty Dogs, coming out. It should be streaming in the next couple months. It's a documentary on the Supreme Court case, which opened up vending for people in the French Quarter to take away the monopoly. We got Eat the Works Louisiana. We're doing a lot of food stuff. We got Turtle Bays up there. We do a lot of funny videos on social media. We don't take ourselves too serious.
No, you can't.
But we appreciate everybody that comes to New Orleans and everybody that loves our city the way that we love it. And it's a special place, and I could live anywhere in the world, and this is where I choose to call home.
There you go.
Where can they find you?
Oh, Brad Bohannan at Bohannan Brad on Instagram, Brad Bohannan on Facebook, and Eat the Works Louisiana, and Dirty Dogs, a movie.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you on.
It's just a lot of fun.
I'm sure somebody's going to want you to come on back and be like, nope, that's not what really happened.
I didn't say that.
Hey, that's all right. Hey.
Oh, God.
I got a pretty good memory.
Yeah!
And I don't let the truth get in the way of a good story either.
Never.
Never. All right. Joey, take us out.
Stick it, stay, don't go away. Guys, thanks so much for coming on this journey with us. We really do appreciate it. Always remember, it's fun and games until someone gets hurt. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Those Guys from Bourbon Street. Also on YouTube, Those Guys from Bourbon Street. And also on
TikTok. TGFBS Podcast. Those Guys from Bourbon Street Podcast. TGFBS Podcast.
Thanks again, guys. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Guys, take care. Scotty, beam us up. Peace.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Great. Was it one of those moments where Joey's like, I don't know this guy?
That was fun.